A huge round of applause for the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji. Thank you, sir, for gracing the 15th edition of the Forbes India Leadership Awards. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Forbes India Leadership Awards, the 15th edition. I would request everyone to please step back because it's now time to present the next Forbes India Icon of Excellence to the one who's the only actor in filmfare industry to win Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress in the same year for two vastly different performances in two diverse films. She recently won a national award for Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway, a film that required her to carry an emotionally devastating story with no room for error.
Well, and you all have guessed it right. The Forbes India Icon of Excellence Award goes to none other than Rani Mukerji. Please join your hands. Please put your hands together.
Hearty congratulations, Rani. I'm sure the audience, all of us would love to hear a few words from you.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, sir. I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Forbes India for honoring me with this prestigious Icon of Excellence Award. I'm truly grateful and deeply humbled by this recognition. Being honored with the Icon of Excellence is not just an award, it is an emotion that I will cherish deeply. This would not have been possible without all the incredible people who have been a part of my journey over the years, and I carry their contribution with immense gratitude in my heart. I would also like to thank all my fans and well-wishers from around the world for the immense love and support they have shown throughout my journey and for my most recent outing, Mardani 3, making it a resounding box office success. It is your encouragement and belief in my work that keeps me pushing the envelope and striving to do better with every film. This award feels like a beautiful validation of my celluloid journey that began over 30 years ago, one that was rooted in passion, courage, and an unwavering belief in the power of storytelling. As an actor, I constantly strive to entertain, tell meaningful stories, and push boundaries through characters that inspire me personally. This recognition is especially meaningful because it tells me that audience and my fans are connecting with, discussing, engaging, and embracing the kind of cinema I believe in and represent. Thank you once again, sir, for giving me this award. Thank you, Forbes India. And thank you, all of you all, for being here today. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Well, moving on to our next award is for Grassroots Philanthropist.
Now, philanthropy in India has two registers, CSR compliance and a genuine personal bet. This category is for the second kind, people who have committed not just money, but time, expertise, and a significant portion of their personal wealth to a cause beyond any mandate, beyond any naming right.
Well, in this year's Grassroots Philanthropist recognition, powered by Federal Bank, goes to individuals whose giving reflects long-term institution building, not just one-off gestures.
Now, the duo we are talking about have put their wealth into things that India mostly underfunds, be it public policy, palliative care, pediatric medicine. The Forbes India Grassroots Philanthropist 2026 are Ajit Isaac, Founder Trustee, Ajit Isaac Foundation, and Sarah Isaac, Trustee, Ajit Isaac Foundation. Please welcome them on stage with a huge round of applause. Hearty congratulations, Mr. Ajit Isaac and Ms. Sarah Isaac. More power to you. Huge round of applause, please.
Well, moving to our next winner then, in this category, has made a significant contribution in advancing brain research, backed by sustained philanthropic investment and a long-term commitment to scientific discovery.
And the Forbes India Grassroots Philanthropist 2026 goes to Chris Gopalakrishnan, co-founder Infosys and chairman Axelor Ventures. Let's welcome Chris with a huge round of applause. Well, it's a big day for Bengaluru. First the RCB sale, and then you have two industrialists from there coming here. Huge round of applause.
Three individuals, one common conviction. That's the most important thing. Giving is that kind that builds something that outlasts you. Congratulations, and thank you all for being with us this evening. Well, moving on then, we now come to the next award for the Turnaround Star. A turnaround is one of the hardest things to execute in various businesses. It demands a clear diagnosis of what broke the discipline to walk away from what no one wants to walk, and the conviction to rebuild from a weaker position that one you started with. Most companies in that situation do not recover. The ones that do are worth paying attention to.
Well, who are we talking about? This is a company that has quietly rebuilt momentum, strengthening its core business, sharpening its product focus, and delivering a disciplined return to growth. Doing so while staying true to its engineering legacy and repositioning itself for a more competitive market.
Well, the Forbes India Turnaround Star 2026 goes to Forbes Motors. Please welcome onto the stage Mr. Prasanna Firodia, the Managing Director of Forbes Motors.
Congratulations, Mr. Prasanna Firodia.
Well, our next category is the GenX entrepreneur. Inheriting a family business is one thing, building something new within it considerably harder. This award goes to the next generation leader who has not simply managed the legacy, they have extended it into new territory.
Now, consumer and MSME lending is a part of Indian credit that formal finance has always found easiest to ignore. But this person decided that that was the opportunity, not the obstacle. He took a largely dormant entity and built it into a lender with 46,000 crore in loan assets and a net worth crossing 8,300 crore. The son of late Raman Kant Munjal has not preserved a legacy. He continues to build it and has been adding much more to it.
Well, the Forbes India GenX Entrepreneur 2026 goes to Mr. Abhimanyu Munjal, the MD, Hero FinCorp. Please welcome him on stage. Congratulations. Well, congratulations, Mr. Munjal, and we look forward to the listing sometime during this year.
Thank you, Mr. Manian, for presenting the first set of awards. Fadnavis ji, we would request you to stay back on stage for the next set of awards.
So let's move on to the next category then, the Forbes India Editor's Lifetime Achievement Award. It is not given to a year or to a single decision. It goes to a body of work, to someone whose contribution to Indian institutions, markets, or public life has accumulated into something that demands a different kind of recognition entirely.
Well, our winner has spent 14 years at BSE, the stock exchange. He transformed from a lagging institution into one of the world's largest exchanges by market cap and listed companies. He moved on to NSE as its CEO in 2022.
But the recognition tonight is not for a single institution or a single tenure. It is for sustained, patient work of building the infrastructure through the Indian capital markets function, the systems, the regulations, the trust that millions of investors and companies depend on without ever knowing his name.
Well, the Forbes India Editor's Lifetime Achievement Award 2026 goes to Mr. Ashish Kumar Chauhan, MD and CEO NSE. Please welcome him on stage with a huge round of applause. Mr. Chauhan, if you
Mr.
could
Chauhan,
give us
we
a
request
short
you to please.
acceptance speech.
Check.
It's a good evening, sir. Thank you. And thank you to editors of Forbes, the jury. It's an honor. It's just that I came back to NSE in 22, but I signed up in 1992. And I ran it for first 8 years. I set up Nifty. And so it has been a long journey in stock markets. But also I set up Mumbai Indians and cellular telephony company, the largest, the precursor to that, and the retail and many other industries I have been part of. I have been singularly lucky to be there in the right place, right time, 35 years. Whenever India did something, I was there in the middle. And I'm back to NSE. Thank you very much for all the love and affection.
Well, all the very best for the NSE IPO, sir. That's something that everyone is looking forward to. But moving on.
A quick comment, sir, the NSE IPO?
No, it's on, so come and invest whenever it comes out.
Thanks a lot for that.
Well, moving on, we have the Forbes India Startup of the Year, which recognizes an enterprise that has moved past the early questions. Is there a product? Is there a market? Can it sustain itself? And answered them decisively. Because this is a company whose business model, growth trajectory, and market position are no longer in question. The only question is how large it gets.
Well, the company's entire bet was on one person, the Indian who wanted to invest, but found everything, every existing platform either too complicated or too expensive as well. That person turned out to be 19 million people. This startup is now India's largest stockbroker by active clients. Over 2.7 lakh crore in customer assets. It did not exist 15 years ago. The incumbents did. That is the only context this award notes.
Well, the Forbes India Startup of the Year 2026 goes to Grow. Please welcome on stage Harsh Jain, the co-founder and COO of Grow. Grow, as we all know, has made the transition from Startup Street to Dalal Street. Harsh, a few words. Don't worry, we won't ask you about market kis direction mein jayega.
To Forbes and the jury, on behalf of my co-founders and the team back, I'm really grateful for the recognition of Grow. And in fact, it's so amazing to share the stage with wonderful people. And in the last couple of hours, we saw really industry leaders, veterans, and in fact, across the industries. So truly humbled, and thank you so much for the recognition.
Harsh, the broking business has done well. If you could very quickly tell us which is the next segment that you want to go in there, penetrate, and conquer.
So it's not really a next segment. We are here to help India build wealth. And we started with retail investors. Now we are seeing that a lot of our investors are emerging into HNI segment. And with that, we also need to evolve to be able to serve to them. So relatively HNI customers is the next foray that Grow is getting into now.
I'll take that answer today. Congratulations and have a good evening.
Right. We now move on to our next award, the Entrepreneur of the Year.
Well, the recognition goes to an entrepreneur who has demonstrated something specific. The ability to build a business that compounds, where each year's bet creates the platform for a larger bet the following year, where the business being built today is unrecognizable from what was announced in year one. but entirely consistent with the logic that it started.
The winning company began with one thesis, that eyewear retail in India was broken and a better model would fix it. That thesis was correct, but what the jury is recognizing tonight is what came after. Over 2,700 stores globally, revenue crossing 7,000 crore, nearly 40% from international markets. And for the first time, a profitable year at a price point critics said was impossible. Not the founding story, but what was built after it.
With the Forbes India Entrepreneur of the Year 2026 is Piyush Bansal, the co-founder and CEO of Lenskart. Please put your hands together for Piyush. Well, please put your hands together for Piyush. Listed the company this year, and what a listing. Plenty of debate prior to the listing, but I think your stand is vindicated post the listing because the stock price is way above the IPO price.
Well, we have to keep, firstly, thank you. This is very kind. Look, we have to keep doing our work. You know, if I can tell you, the whole of last year didn't feel like entrepreneur of the year. most days it felt like just don't mess things again tomorrow. And look, I think building a business is mostly not so glamorous. We celebrate outcomes, but what goes behind is a lot of small things that you keep doing. I remember post-listing and pre-listing, there was a customer who was really angry at Lenskart about almost maybe 10 years back, and I had called him to apologize. And he said one thing to me, very simply, which has stayed with me for the last 10 years. He just told me, this is okay, just make sure you get the next one better.
Great.
And I think this is what we do every day.
Great.
And that's what we have done post-listing.
Congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, and now we move on to the last and most awaited award of the year. Now this looks at the complete picture: strategy, execution, capital allocation, people decisions, and critically performance, not in easy years, but in years where the conditions were actively difficult. A strong environment lifts many boats. The jury is not recognizing boats that were lifted. It's recognizing the decisions that mattered when the current was against them.
When he became the MD and CEO of this group in April 2021, the company was seen as a bruised blue chip in need of sharper focus. What followed was a structural overhaul. Non-core ventures were pared back, the group doubled down on SUVs, and the EV bet was made early, and each subsidiary was given a clear mandate. Since then, the group has delivered a strong operational and market re-rating.
Well, the Forbes India CEO of the Year 2026 goes to Anish Shah, the Group CEO and Managing Director, Mahindra & Mahindra. Mr. Shah also serves tonight as our jury chair. He was, of course, not part of the deliberation for this category. This recognition is entirely the jury's decision, and it was unanimous. Thank you very much also to the Chief Minister, who's been patiently standing by giving all the awards. Mr. Shah, a few words from you.
Thank you, Shri Fadnavis ji, Forbes and the jury for this very prestigious award. Many years ago, a mentor of mine told me, you're only as good as your team. Today we have 24 leaders from the Mahindra Group in the audience. I would request them to stand and jointly accept this award. On behalf of the 350,000 associates at the Mahindra Group, it is their hard work and dedication that has enabled us to deliver all the results that you very kindly mentioned. The reason I stand here today is Anand Mahindra. Anand, I'd like to thank you for your mentorship and guidance throughout the way. You've given this amazing platform, and it is my privilege to take forward the purpose-led legacy of the Mahindra Group. While this is an award for the CEO of the Year, it's taken me a lifetime to get here. My parents taught me how to fly and gave me wings. My wife Snehal taught me the importance of roots. She's a professor in leadership and organization behavior. And yes, I've had many lectures along the way. But those have taught me how to be a good leader. Our boys taught me how to get control, because the only way to get control is to give up control. And finally, and importantly, to a few special people, my mentors who've shaped me along the way, and my friends who've held my hand along the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Fadnavis, we're going to request you to stay on stage, but we've had the privilege of having the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra throughout these recognitions this evening. So thank you for taking time for, to be with us and patiently presenting each of these honors. It's meant a great deal, I'm sure, to all the winners tonight. But the action doesn't end there, because how can we not have an evening without hearing from the Chief Minister himself? And there's so much to discuss, about an exciting state like Maharashtra. So thank you very much, sir, for staying on. We request you to join us for a fireside conversation. And I'm going to request Bodhisattva Ganguly, Group Consulting Editor, Network 18, to join us on stage for this very special conversation with the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Devendra Fadnavis. A huge round of applause.
So thank you, Devendra ji. Thank you for taking up time. I know you had a busy day in the assembly. I think it's appropriate that the Dhurandhars of Indian business should be recognized by the man who is doing a lot to make it easier to do business and is trying to make Maharashtra, which is of course the biggest contributor in terms of GDP, and is trying to make it easier to do business, that he should present the awards. But I'll start with a slightly out of syllabus question. देवेंद्र जी, ये इलेक्शन का सीज़न है, चुनाव का माहौल है, आप भाजपा का स्टार कैंपेनर है, तो ये जो 5 स्टेट्स में इलेक्शन होने जा रहा है, what is your estimate? Because BJP has traditionally not won elections, not very strong in these states, except of course Assam, which is expected.
नहीं, बिल्कुल आपने जो कहा, I think ये जो चुनाव है, ये it's going to change the history, or especially I'm very hopeful this time in Bengal, और मुझे लगता है कि even in Tamil Nadu we'll do great. असम तो खैर सभी को पता है कि हम लोग जीतेंगे, पर बंगाल और तमिलनाडु ये बहुत अच्छा हम करेंगे, और केरल में एक बहुत ही अच्छे अल्टरनेटिव के रूप में हम लोग आज उभर रहे हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये चुनाव शायद पिछले कई चुनाव से अलग इस प्रकार का रिजल्ट होगा.
So another question, Devendra ji, which is also very topical. You have the war going on right now. Prime Minister spoken in the Rajya Sabha today and Lok Sabha yesterday. From your vantage point as Chief Minister, what are you seeing the impact of the war?
See, of course, today with this war, the supply lines are disrupted, and it is going to have some impact on all the businesses. But having said that, the diversification of supply lines done by the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is actually making us stand out. Because if you look at all the countries which are our neighboring countries, they are almost at the verge of shutting. But India is doing well, we are managing. And I think the Prime Minister has a strategy to, sustain in this war-like situation because the war is happening there, but for us, it's a warlike situation. And hopefully, I think we should sail through. We should be able to sail through.
Yeah. Hopefully, we will have a ceasefire soon. Let's see. Of course, depends on Mr. Trump and his. Yeah.
No, I was reading somewhere that
what is going to happen on Truth Social. I think we are.
Yeah. That will happen. So I was actually, it is a situation where, you cannot comment on war because it is said that even those who have waged the war do not know what is their strategy. So how can you tell what is the strategy?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is showing that it's easy to start a war, but very difficult perhaps to end one. Okay, let me shift to the various questions that were prepared, on the economy. So Maharashtra, the contribution to India's GDP is about 14-15%. It is the leader in FDI. But it is also facing significant challenges, let's say from states like your neighboring state, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. So what is the X factor in Maharashtra? What is the X factor jiske wajah se companies should come to Maharashtra, both Indian?
I'll tell you 2-3 things. Of course, there was a time when there were only 2-3 states which were competing, like Maharashtra was there, Gujarat was there, Tamil Nadu was there. Today, there are at least 10 states which are competing and which are fairly doing well. And I think that is good for our country. So we believe in competitive federalism, and our Prime Minister believes in competitive federalism. Having said that, I would say that Maharashtra stands out because, as you have rightly said, that it has a manufacturing prowess. It has been the leader in manufacturing sector for a long time. We are continuing to do that. We are Fintech capital, we are startup capital. Now you know that, if you look at the Startup India report, out of all startups that are existent in India, we account for the largest number. So we are the startup capital. Just to emphasize that, many times people say Bangalore is a startup capital, Hyderabad is a startup capital. So to them, I would like to tell them that no, Maharashtra is a startup capital by absolute numbers and also by absolute investment, not just by numbers. We also account for, largest number of unicorns. And I think ecosystem which is created. See, we have best of the human resource, we have best of the engineers, we have, best of the technocrats. Technology-wise, we are much ahead. There is a very good work culture. Look at the work culture in Maharashtra. People mean business here. And we, as a government, we have, we are trying to, bring a lot of ease of doing business, because we understand that ease of doing business and cost of doing business are two things which, if the government works more, then investments are going to come. And that is why I think we have such a great ecosystem. We have many plug-and-play parks where actually we are immediately giving land to the people. So there are cases where we have closed deals in 24 hours, 36 hours, have allotted land, have given them offer letters. And I think this work culture, this ecosystem is something which is our X factor.
In fact, Maharashtra, I think, has emerged as a major center of the data center industry. It is I think Navi Mumbai is emerging as a major hub of data centers and all that.
Absolutely. I think now we are the data center capital of India. And right now, the data center capacity, which is actually working capacity, which is created in India, is about 1.5 gigawatt. Out of that, more than 1 gigawatt sits in the state of Maharashtra. And today, huge investments in data center are coming to Maharashtra. We have closed deals worth 8 lakh crores and about 9 gigawatts of data center capacity. And let me tell you now, everybody is competing to bring the investments in data center. But the biggest thing for data center is power. And Maharashtra is one state which is right now power surplus. We have actually implemented our plan for resource adequacy in energy sector. We have plans of being, energy surplus in 2030. In 2035, we have accounted for all the energies that will go into data center, and at the same time, we are also going through energy transition. So by 2030, in fact, we will be 52% renewable. By 2035, we will be 65% renewable. And I must tell you that, let's say, our assessment is that this new Mumbai, Thane and all this area, which is now our data center hub, will require 5,000 megawatt, 5 gigawatt power in, let's say, next 5 years. We are ready. We are ready with it. And even I know that people at some point of time will ask for green power. We are also ready with the green power. So I think we are the only state which can actually fulfill the power demand for data center. Others are signing, but they don't have power.
Okay. But one sector where perhaps Maharashtra has not done so well is semiconductors. You have big investments in Gujarat, to some extent in Noida, Assam. When can we expect to see a semiconductor facility in Maharashtra? It has become some kind of a prestige.
Let me tell you, see, when we look at the semiconductor investments and fab investments, mostly we look at, the industries which have come out of India semiconductor policy. We have not been very fortunate to have something from India semiconductor policy.
Right.
But look at the private sector. Now Maharashtra is leader in OSAT and ATMP. The huge ecosystem of OSAT and ATMP is created in Maharashtra. The companies like RRP, what they have created is the best in India. And this capacity is actually enhancing at a pace where we will be leader. So I think, as you know, that ATMP and OSAT is one of the most important process in semiconductor ecosystem. That process we have championed in Maharashtra. And soon, in fact, we have already entered into a MOU with Tower Semiconductor, whereby they will be investing around 83,000 crore in a fab facility. They have not started as yet, but land is identified. We have entered into a MOU. So soon that facility will also come in state of Maharashtra.
So let me just shift to the softer side. I think one of your ek bada initiative is India's orange economy, which is focusing on the creative industries, on culture and digital content. What kind of investments are you expecting there?
So I think Maharashtra was perhaps the first state to have AVGC XR policy in 2017. And now we are in the second phase of our AVGC XR policy. And I mean, we are a very natural ecosystem for creators economy. And today you can see that that is happening. In fact, I'm very happy that the government of India chose us to host Waves, which has been our flagship program in this sector.
Right.
And after Waves, we are experiencing huge, investments in this sector, and especially the Indian Institute of Creative Technology, which is a flagship program of Government of India, which is perhaps the IIT in the creators economy sector, that has been started in Mumbai, and soon we will have a campus in Film City. That campus we have already started building. This will actually formalize the entire human resource that we have to create. And I think recently, 2 days back, we also hosted Esports, the World Championship of Esports. And there also, I think, huge opportunities have come, the creators were assembled. So in our policy, we are creating hub and spoke model, whereby this Indian Institute of Creative Technology will be our hub. And we are actually creating, 12 regional hubs which will act like spokes under this. And there, the entire ecosystem for AVGC XR, including the infrastructure which is required, will be available, so that we'll be able to leverage that infrastructure and will be able to provide the ecosystem for the orange economy.
Okay, I'm being asked to wind up. So just one or two last questions. So Maharashtra is seeing a very major infrastructure development that's visible in Mumbai with the coastal road, etc. There is the Vadvan Port which is coming up. What are the big initiatives going forward in infrastructure in Maharashtra?
So as you have rightly said, I think the biggest thing that has happened to Maharashtra and India is Vadvan Port. Because you see, for last 30 years, our maritime power has been the JNPT port. It accounts for 55% of our container traffic. But even with the enhanced capacity, there is no space available in JNPT. Now this Vadvan is one port which is 3 times bigger than JNPT. And the best thing about Vadvan is that it has a 20 meters natural deep draft. It is going to be India's largest port. From day one, it will be amongst world's 10 big ports. So for the first time, we are entering into the league of first world ports. And with this port, I think that we will play a major role in the maritime economy. We are also creating huge opportunities leveraging this port. The port-led economy should be, created in every corner. So we have Samrudi Highway. From Samrudi Highway, we are connecting, the JNPT we have already connected. Right. Now we are also connecting the Vadvan Port with the Samrudi Highway. And with this, I think around 25 districts will have direct access to Vadvan Port. And, the goods movement will happen in at the most 8 hours or 10 hours from around 20 districts to the Vadvan Port. So that will give advantage to every part of Maharashtra to be part of this port-led development. And again, as we have built this Atal Setu, and between Atal Setu and the new Mumbai airport, now we are building the third Mumbai. Likewise, we are building the fourth Mumbai near Vadvan Port. And this Vadvan Port will be highly connected in a sense that now our coastal road is reaching Bhayandar. From Bhayandar to Virar, we are starting a new coastal road 40 kilometers. So, and this coastal road will go to Vadvan. And Mumbai's third airport will come near Vadvan. So it will come between Virar and Vadvan. It will be India's first offshore airport. We have already done the survey and it has come feasible. So soon we'll do the formalities and then we'll announce this airport. So I think it is opening huge opportunities in Maharashtra. And again, it's not just for Maharashtra, but for India, because Maharashtra is growth engine. I mean, you know that recently I presented the budget, and in the budget speech I told that the Maharashtra's economy now is 660 billion. And with 660 billion economy, if Maharashtra would have been a separate nation, we would have been 30th economy of the world. Right. And now we are competing not just with states, but let me tell you, in next 2 years, we will surpass the economy of UAE and Singapore. So wow. That is our, strategy in Maharashtra. And I think for that, our strategy has always been, infrastructure-led growth, port-led development, and policy-led industrialization.
I think you should, I don't know whether you are benchmarking yourself with Vietnam or Indonesia, these kind of countries for, yes. I think you should be doing that. Okay, so just, just on last question, let me ask you, historically in Maharashtra, there have been some issues, for example, with land acquisition and those kind of issues. For example, the Ratnagiri refinery project proposed by Saudi Aramco did not come up. Any progress on that? And generally on land acquisition, it has sometimes been difficult to acquire land in Maharashtra compared to some.
It is many times difficult, but let me tell you, Ratnagiri refinery is the only project where we have failed in land acquisition. Otherwise, in last 10 years, whatever projects we took, we could do all the projects with all land acquisition, and we have set a record the Nagpur-Mumbai Samrudi Expressway, 750-kilometer greenfield entire alignment, we could actually, get that entire alignment land in 9 months, just 9 months. And now for new Pune airport, I've already started land acquisition, and 95% of the people have given us consent for acquisition. So acquisition has been problem, but our policy has been that we pay 5 times. We pay 4 times. So in most of the cases, I have not done acquisition. I have done consent award. But as you have rightly said, in Ratnagiri, we could not, we could convince people. We had, MOUs were 10,000 acres from people. But unfortunately, we could not convince the erstwhile partners, the erstwhile Shiv Sena under Uddhav Thackerji, and we had to cancel that, that particular area. And then we went for the new site. We are still struggling. Let me tell you very frankly that in the new site, we have such, historical and geographical and, monuments that, again, I mean, that site has come into, certain problems. But we are still hopeful that we'll be able to do it. But I think now is a time where we understand that if at right time we would have started the refinery at Ratnagiri, this would have been opportune time for that refinery.
Devendraji, one last question on politics. So in the last assembly elections, BJP was very close to winning a majority on its own with 130 seats. What is the aim for the next election? Will you need allies in 2029?
See, the aim for next election is again to win and come back to power, because so many projects we have started, and we've seen that for around 2.5 years when we were out of power, all projects were standstill, and there was huge cost overrun, time overrun, everything. So that is, and for that I think, although as you have rightly told that now BJP is in a position where it is a biggest party on its own. We are near the majority mark. But I think we still believe that our friends are very important for us. They are very precious for us. So even in 2029, we will have our alliance, and we will go to the elections with our alliance partners.
Devendraji, thank you very much. I request you to stay on stage, and Chandra and Nigel will take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Minister Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji. Thank you very much for a scintillating conversation, Bodhi.